Holy cow. Right off the bat. There we go. There we go. There we go, guys. Number 3. Holy cow. Look at that. Right there. Check out that fatty. Welcome back, fishing friends. Hey, I hope your 2022 is off to a great start. Mine's going pretty well. I just hadn't been able to fish as much as I'd like to. We've had some crazy weather temperatures going up and down and 40-mile-an-hour winds and this, that, and the other. The other thing is I've had the flu and I'm trying to get over that. Man, I'm telling you, it's been horrible. Do not catch the flu. All right. So I'm here at the worldwide headquarters and I've put together this list. And it's a list of some lures or baits that I recommend for 2022. But before we get to that, let me just say, hey, if you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. And for everyone, thank you so much for supporting the channel. You know, I don't do this professionally. I just do it for fun to, make some fishing videos for friends and family. But it's really cool to have all this support from people that are out there. And the channel is growing, and I hope it continues to grow. And it only happens because of you. So I really appreciate that. All right, so this list. Now I put together half a dozen or so baits that I recommend for 2020. Now we all know what they are. Maybe you've used them, and if you haven't used them, hopefully you will. And if you do use them, keep using them. Stay consistent with them. I went ahead and put these in like an order so I could kind of keep track of them, but it doesn't mean that number 7 is worse than number 1 or vice versa, or 3 is worse than number 6. I just put them in an order to keep track of things. And of course, this isn't a list that is, this is it and it's never going to change. I could have added so many other baits in here, but these are just ones that I put together that have really worked for me in the past. I'm going to continue working with them. Some great stuff. The other thing is, for my European viewers, if you have access to these baits, drop some comments below how you're doing with them, how they're working for you. And if maybe you can't get these baits, maybe somehow you can work something out and try some of them if you can get them over there. Or maybe you guys are using baits that we can't get to or we don't really have access to that that are really cool, that are helpful. So drop a comment on what kind of baits you're using there and how they're doing. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at this list. So I'm just going to go through and talk about each one, and I'll put some clips in there so you can kind of see what's going on with them. But let's get right to it. All right, inline spinners. Spinner baits in general, but to narrow down, inline spinners are absolutely fantastic. I've caught everything from crappie. I even caught a carp on one time. Bass, largemouth, smallmouth, walleye, northern pike. These things catch fish. They're absolutely phenomenal, and they're my go-to baits a lot of times, and they're 100% clutch. Now, I'm not endorsed by any kind of companies or anything like that, but I will tell you I use MEPS. They've been doing it the longest. They've been doing it so well. I use their stuff, and I really, really, really recommend them. All right, guys, I'm switched to a MEPS 3 streamer. I had a couple of hits on that other one, a couple of pops, but just couldn't get anything in, so we're going to try this. Pretty good little lure. It's got a setup on there with some extra treble hooks for a better hookup ratio. It's got like a trailer hook and so forth. Good stuff. Plus, of course, with MEPS, the blade, it's going to work smooth and efficiently. This is the number 3.
I had a little one come out from under there and hit it. I don't know what that was. Dinky, maybe an inch long. All right, guys, we're hooked up. We're hooked up. We're hooked up. Check it out. Let me get my footing here. All right. There he is. So I'm just gonna throw a little Meps XD. Little trout color, size number 3. Run it through, see if we can get something. I love throwing Meps lures. You just gotta watch out for snags. Oh man, that looks good in the water. It looks real good. I've caught rock bass on this, smallmouth, all kinds of stuff. Oh, there we go. Guys, he came out. He came out. What is it? Let me see. Oh, my drag is all fouled up. There it goes. It was just hung up. What is it? Is it a rock bass? Boy, he shot out from under a rock. If it's a rock bass, it's a good sized one. All right. Maybe it was just a smallmouth. Oh, it's a smallmouth. All right, boys. Yeah, he was right under the rocks there. I need my pliers, and then I'll be right back for the release. It's pretty cool. He was just right down here where he hit. See where that stick is? He just, pow, I saw him come out. Thought it was a little rock bass. Boy, these smallmouth have some good weight to them. He's probably just over 10 inches. Maybe a little bigger. There he goes. I'm telling you guys, the Meps, man, they just know how to make lures. They've been doing it for so long. And I tried everything, and for some reason that Meps action got the job done. Hey guys, for Tackle Talk, hopefully the hat cam picks this up. This is where I got all my inline spinners, Meps. I got some beetle spins here, miscellaneous stuff here. But I've got like my streamers, my little comets in there. This is where I got the big spoons, like the Little Wolf, old school spoons, like the Daredevil. But here's like an Aglia long cast. Then down here I got some of my big heavy ones for pike. So I've got all kinds of them in here. It's a little spinner. And some smaller trout ones, some of the XDs, medium sized, a bunch of small spoons. So that's pretty much, that tray is, you know, one of my favorite trays. I mean, and I've even got trays at home full of Mep spinners, probably 2 other trays. And man, they do such a great job with them. No complaints with them whatsoever, and they do catch fish. All right guys, I think I got one on the spinner. On the spinner. Let's check it out. It's a nice rainbow. Easy. It's a nice keeper rainbow. All right, boys, I got another one. All right, check it out. for the release. Man, they're loving this spinner. Anything from Meps is good.
Alright guys, the Whopper Plopper. This thing is just absolutely phenomenal and clutch. It is an incredible bait. It's a top water bait, and I've been using everything from the 90s to the 110s, the 75s, and even the 60. So I've done some reviews on those. But the Whopper Plopper is so much fun to use. I highly recommend that. I've caught everything from bass, rock bass. I even caught a bluegill on the 60 one time. And of course, northern pike. I've had northern pike crush that thing like you wouldn't believe. And gar. I've had a gar crush that thing. They don't like it when it comes by them. They just turn and will just snap at it. Because, you know, gar hover along the surface there sometimes, especially down here in Texas when it's hot. They just cruise around like a submarine on the surface. And that Whopper Plopper comes by, they just snap at it. They don't like it. Other times, you know, they're looking for something to eat or, you know, in hunt mode, and they'll just hammer it. But anyway, the Whopper Plopper. I think the size that has really worked best for me is the 75, well, and the 90. They're kind of close. But anyway, if you haven't really used a Whopper Plopper, do it. If you do use a Whopper Plopper, keep using that thing. It's a great bait.
All right, boys. I got smoked right here. My gosh. Whatever it is, it's big. Boy, it's got some weight on him. Oh, he hit bigger than what he was, just a hammer handle. Hey, he's still a good fish though. Come on, get out of that cabbage. This is gonna be interesting. I gotta keep the line tight. Maybe he can get himself out of that mess. It's this cabbage. All right. There we go. All right, guys, there he is. A lot of thrashing around, but I got him. I didn't bring a net. So there he is. He's about 27 inches. Nice and healthy. One last look at him. There we go. There he goes. Man, they just camouflage so well. He just hit out there about 20 feet. There we go. I clipped that tree. There we go. There we go. All right, boys, we're hooked up. Something came up and just hammered it. Oh, check it out. Just a little pike in the shallows. All right, he got himself off. Just a little hammer handle. That's pretty cool. All right, guys. I got something on here. Something got it. The Whopper Plopper. She's taking a line. What is it? Ooh, check that out. It's a northern. I'm gonna have to let it tire out just a little bit. So get her in here. All right, guys, I gotta take care of this. I'll be back in just a minute. All right, guys, here we go for the release. Get a good look at her. Oh. Here she goes. Off she swims. But on the Whopper Plopper, whew, both hooks.
Alright, so next we've got jigs. And I mean finesse jigs, football jigs, whatever else you got in terms of jigs. I prefer bucktail hair jigs, but I also like the silicone skirted jigs. I use those too. And you can put all kinds of different trailers on them that are fantastic. Jigs get the job done. You can bounce them around down in there. You can pull them through weeds, all kinds of cover, and they catch fish. Test out different trailers on them. There's, different sizes. There's different brands. Have fun with them. Jigs are phenomenal, and they come in clutch a lot of times.
All right, guys, I'm switching to this Bitsy Bug craw. Gonna fire that in there and see what we can get. Got a little crawler on there, trailer. Punch it through some of those lily pads and junk. Hopefully we'll get something. All right, guys, I'm hooked up. Not sure what this is. Not sure where I'm gonna land him. I can't tell what this hog is. Let's see if I can get him in to get a look at him. Well, he's stuck in all that cabbage, guys, and I can't see what on earth it is. Holy cow. All right, so I'm gonna let him play it out and see what he does. I see it, it's a nice pike, but it's cut up in a tree limb and all this other junk and cabbage. So I'm not sure how I'm gonna get him up here. But I don't know, hopefully you can see him down there. So gonna try to figure something out here. Be right back. All right, guys, here he is. Here we go. Oh. Whew. Good Lord. Okay, guys, I got him on the Bitsy Bug. That was a heck of a mess trying to get him in with all that cabbage. He was over 30 for sure, probably 31, 32. That was a big fish.
This lure's probably caught more fish than any other fish out there, and those are Senkos, cigar baits, stick baits, whatever you want to call them, Senko style baits. These are fantastic, and there's different ways you can rig them. And I've had a lot of success with them, and I've had so much fun with them. And I've caught all kinds of fish on with them, and they are just incredible. So pick up some packs of them, get out there and have some fun. If you're ready to use them, hey, keep using them. One thing I do recommend is try going up to the 6-inch. I did that this past summer, and I had so much fun catching big bass. And I had a pike that I didn't get it on film, but I had one that hit on the 6-inch. So get out there and use those 6-inch. Test those out. Those things are phenomenal. Senkos, absolutely a must-have in a tackle box.
All right, guys, so I've been throwing the Senko out there and just kind of letting the micro rig drift a little bit with that night crawler. But this looks prime and juicy for what was that? Are you kidding me? All right, guys, we're hooked up. After I saw a big splash over there, I was like, man, I know there had to have been a fish. Oh, this guy's hung up in the cabbage here. All right, let's take a look and see. Oh, yeah. Check this guy out. Boy, it's a nice fish right there. Nice fish. All right. So the Senko got the job done. There he goes. Pretty cool stuff. Oops, I may have got that up there too high where you couldn't see it. It's got a nice color to it. I think from when I was reading, Weston, they're made in Sweden maybe, or Norway. All right, this one's looking pretty good. That looks pretty good right there on that Weston cigar bait Senko. All right, good stuff.
People have gotten away from these a little bit, and they need to get back into them, and these are curly tail grubs. I love curly tail grubs. The one brand that I really think is fantastic, actually two brands, are Kalen's and Mr. Twister, and there's a ton of them brands out there. These are ones that I've had a lot of success with, and the cool thing is there's different colors. You can use different size jig heads for them. You can throw them in different types of water. They do well. Curly tail grubs are fantastic, and they come in different sizes, and they're just a great bait. If you hadn't really used them that much, use them consistently. Get out there, test them, keep using them and using them. They do really well. They work well in the smaller size for crappie, and of course for bass, largemouth, smallmouth, striper, northern pike have crushed them, and they even make big ones for people that are into saltwater fishing. So curly tail grubs. Get out there, use those, and have fun with them.
All right, boys, we're hooked up. I'm not sure what it is yet. Fighting in the current. Oh, check it out, it's a little smallmouth. Nice job. All right, guys, I got a nice little smallmouth in here on the Kalen's Linker Grub right out there in the rapids. Pretty cool stuff. It's the only thing that's caught anything today. I'm gonna keep trying right in that middle area over there. Right out there. All right, boys, we're hooked up. Trying to figure out what it is. Looks like a nice smallmouth. Woo! Oh. It is. Check that out, boy. That's a nice smallmouth just right down here in the rapids. Good stuff. All right, let's get him back in. All right, guys, so I got him on this little twister tail, black and chartreuse. Just right down there, boy, he just popped it. All right, let's get back to fishing. All right, guys, we're hooked up. Had to make sure I was recording. See what we got here, right in that same split place, right underneath there. Oh. Whew. Here we go, guys, number 3. All right, guys, for the release. There we go. Whew. All right, guys, another one on the Mr. Twister tail with a 1/4 ounce spoon eye jig, and boy, he shredded this. It's a big gash in there. All right, guys, so I'm gonna keep fishing.
All right, guys, I love throwing the tube. The tube can be rigged so many different ways, and it is fantastic. And the thing is, they're durable. They can take a beating, and fish just love them. So if you don't use a tube that much, start using it. Get out there and have some fun with it. It's a great bait. And their sizes vary. I've had a lot of luck with the 4-inch, and then, of course, down to the 2.75-inch. But throw some tubes out there. They are great. In terms of brands, I've had a lot of luck with big bite baits, and then, of course, Venom. Venom makes some great tubes. But there's a lot of companies out there that do that. Heck, I even had some generic ones from Gander Mountain that I've had, and I still have them that work great. So get out there and have some fun with tubes.
All right, guys, I'm hooked up. I threw the tube, and man, I got a nice one. All right, let's see if we can get him up here. Tire him out a bit. Well, that's a nice smallie. There we go. Check that out, guys. All right. Easy. Let me get a grip in here. Come on. Oh, yeah. He's got it. All right, guys, check it out. So you get a shot with the sun there. That's a good size smallie, nice and healthy. Let's get him back in there. Whew! I was on the tube. All right, good stuff. All right, guys, so this is just a little 4-inch tube that I got when Gander Mountain was still around. So probably 2016, I think. 2017 is when I got them. And it's just a generic brand, but I like the 4-inch. The 4-inch is a key, and that guy just caught out right here in the middle. And I'm just bouncing it along the bottom. And it has such a weird flutter pattern that, you know, the fish really like it. The next time I order some new tubes, it's going to be from Venom Lures. They've got such a great color selection.
This next one is really popular with a lot of anglers for all different kinds of fish, and those are swim baits. Swim baits are phenomenal. And the ones that I really like to use are from Northland Tackle. I think in this I call it North Star. In this little clip I've got, I think I call it like North Star Lures or whatever. But those Northland Tackle swim baits, oh man, those are phenomenal. And of course, Berkley makes a ton of them. Everybody's got swim baits. But the Berkley Twitchtail, yes, I consider that a swim bait, even though I've used it under a bobber. That thing is phenomenal. So there's a lot of different ones out there. If you use swim baits, keep using them and keep having fun with them. So I highly recommend swim baits.
All right, guys, we're hooked up. The thing is, I got a lot of current here. So I gotta fight this current. There we go. It's a nice smallie. I got him on the Northern Lights swim bait. Check out that fatty. That's a nice fish. Whew. All right, guys, we're gonna get him back in. Boy, he just wrecked this. It's this little Northern Lights swim bait. And I just fired it right into the rapids and he got it. As soon as that hit, a fish jumped up there. He shot out of the water. Something around about that log has got all kinds of activity. I threw the bitsy bug in there. Ooh, there we go. There we go. All right, guys. I got something nice around that log again. I wonder if it's that same bass. I'll know for sure because he's got that thing on his mouth. That spot on his mouth. All right. So we're gonna keep her coming in. Oh, it's a nice bass. Stay out of the logs. That's where he's going. Into that dang log. Get out of there. Come on, get out of there. It's a big bass. If it's that same one, I'm gonna freaking lose it. Look at all those fish swimming by. All right, let's get this fatso out of here. Let's get him up. Boy, he was hooked good. No, it's not that same bass. There we go. Nope, it's not the same one, guys. It's a different bass. Check that fatty out. Let's get him over here so you can see him with the sun shining on him. Sun shining on him. All right, cool stuff. All right, let's get him in the water for the release. All right, guys, that was good stuff. Man, oh man, on that little Berkeley minnow.
There we go, guys. There's a list of things I recommend for 2022, but I also recommend them forever. Get them in your tackle box. Use them. But the thing is, use them consistently. Use them consistently. We all have the ones that we really like to use, and these are some of the ones that I really enjoy using. And there are times where you got to switch it up, you know, where one thing isn't working, you have a different presentation out there, and it works. And these things are phenomenal. Hey, drop a comment below on some of the PBs you caught using these, species, size, all that good stuff. And hopefully this spring and summer you have continued luck with all your fishing endeavors out there. Keep it going. It's get out there and have some fun. I know I'm looking forward to it, to using these and using some new stuff, testing it out. But for the most part, I consistently use these. The other thing I was thinking about, guys, is doing a little list kind of like this for ultralight or micro fishing. I have a lot of fun doing that. Really, it's pretty simple. I just use a trout magnet hook or the crappie magnet hook, and I'll use a little crappie magnet craw or stuff from Euro Tackle like the EPF Swim or the Anisaptera, the Beetle Spin. There's different things I like to use. And, you know, the other thing is night crawlers. I like to use night crawlers too. But it's a lot of fun to get out there and do some micro fishing for bluegill, crappie, even creek chubs and shiners and things like that. It just changes things up. You have a lot of fun doing it. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this time. Hey, until next time, I'll see you then. Appreciate everyone. Bye-bye.